Los Angeles for a while.
Okay.
And while I was there, again, work. I had a boyfriend for like a monogamous boyfriend that we lived together for several years, and then we split up. So it was a brief time that I lived there that I was single, and I still really didn't date much because I was working and traveling for work all the time. So traveling for work, I met a lot of people.
Right.
One of them being the nephew of the founder of Hustler. So Larry Flint's nephew, he lived there and he had moved there from, I guess it was a small town, but it's like another state that's more like farming and horses, etc.
Okay.
So we had that southern thing in common. And so it was very comfortable hanging out with him. And true gentleman, such a nice person. Like,
And you're very easy to hang around with anyway.
So is he. And it was so fun. And he was just like, I don't know, he was just super nice. Never tried anything. We never had a romantic relationship. His best friend was just absolutely gorgeous, but she didn't have the best personality. So usually he and I would like hang out and do casual things. And on rare occasion, I would meet up with him and
Are they still best friends?
I have no idea.
I would say, I don't think she's going to like that.
Probably not. He's married and his wife is absolutely gorgeous. And it looks like he has a great life.
Would he be listening?
I have no idea. Probably.
He's going to listen.
But we were friends. And one night he invited me to a party. And it just so happened that I was hanging out with my girlfriends in the same town that he was having the party. So it was a famous person who was hosting the party, like a brother of a very famous person.
Okay.
So, still that wasn't a draw because it's LA, those kind of things happen all the time, whatever. But he was such a nice guy. I'm like, okay. So I talked to my girlfriends. I'm like, let me talk to my friends and see if they want to stop by. I talked to my friends and we went over there. And it was just like a big house party and totally chill. And I had probably 5 girls with me. And we're just like hanging out. And we walked in and we're in the kitchen and everybody's getting drinks. And we're standing there. And a famous actor, like he had a movie that had just come out at that time. And it was, wedding related. And he was busy with that and, happened to be in town. And so I said, hey, I understand you're from Dallas. And he's like, yeah, I am. I said, me too. He's like, no way. He's like, where are you from? And I said, University Park area. He said, no way, me too. He said, my parents live there.
Oh.
And he's like, that's where I grew up. And, we started talking and he was super nice. So we're hanging out, talking for a while. And then, my girlfriends gave us space for a minute.
Yeah.
And then he was like, hey, come in here so I can talk to you. So we went into like another room and it was quiet and the other people left. And so it was like just he and I like standing there, talking. And then we sat down and we're just talking and nothing crazy. He asked to see my ass, but, that's
I
about
can't
it.
blame him for that. I can't blame anybody for that. Like, it's like, man, dude, I can't believe you would do that. I get it.
I wasn't even surprised. I was
no.
And of course, my response was like, turn around and show me your ass.
Yes. What I was going to say, what did he say to that?
He laughed. And then my girlfriends walk in and they're like, hey, how are you? And they're all like
barging in, like they couldn't even leave you alone. How long were you in there with that man?
Oh, probably 15 minutes, like just talking. And then they came in, but they were super cool. They were so nice. So it was like, hey, what are you doing? And they come in and just talk. And one of the girls acted like she didn't know who he was. She's like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, nice to meet you. And said his name, like, like not everybody knows,
That's funny.
Yeah. And so we all hung out for a while and just carried on conversation. Nothing crazy happened. And then when my girlfriends were ready to leave, we all left. And then he said, can I ask you out sometime? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. So he literally tried for a month, like calling me, checking in. I'm in town. Do you want to get together? I can't. I'm busy. Okay. I'm in town. Do you want to get together? And he kept trying. And I thought, that's so nice. Like, he's such a nice guy. So then one day it lined up that he was in town I was available. And one of those times I said I was busy, I literally had plans to wash clothes with one of my close friends there. And her and I, it's LA. So it's like, I'm not going alone to wash clothes.
Yeah, you
And so
gotta.
yeah, buddy
I
system.
can't go alone to wash clothes.
Yeah. So I
So no, I'm
literally,
busy.
yeah, I blew him off to go wash clothes. He was not offended. He's like, all right.
That's
He's like,
funny.
okay. Yeah. And I was like, dude, this guy is so nice.
Yeah.
So then it worked out. We were in town at the same time, and I went to his house, and it was in Brentwood. And you would expect like somebody of this magnitude to have this ridiculous house, but it was this beautiful house that was like cookie cutter, and of course it was extravagant and beautiful, but nothing over the top.
Yeah.
It was so nice. And he was like,
Good.
yeah, such a gentleman, had fun, went out. And at that time, I drank, you know, I traveled a lot for work and I was used to drinking with customers. So I drank, consistently. But it was an awkward feeling where everybody in LA I hung out with drank. And so he got me a drink, but he didn't drink. I was like, okay, all right. I feel like an ass right now, but whatever. But he was cool, it didn't matter.
Yeah. I was say I don't really, well, I say as I have my glass of wine, I'm like, I don't really drink,
You
but
don't really drink. I'm
but I
hiding
don't care whenever people
hiding mine over
drink.
here.
It's like, sure, bring your alcohol. I don't care. Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. So we hung out for a while, went out for a little bit, and these people, we were walking through the door, and it was like, it feels like it was that one quiet night in a busy city. Like hardly anybody was out. And so it was perfect. We just got to hang out like normal
Where
people.
did you go?
It was just some like small bar in Santa Monica. It wasn't
Like
too
a,
far.
was it like a what bar?
It was just a small bar.
Oh, a small bar.
Yeah, nothing reputable, just a nice little place. And of course, he chose like a room that was back away from everything, even though it wasn't busy. That gave us the opportunity to talk,
Yeah,
but still,
I
it was no big
understand.
deal. And on the way in, he's a gentleman. So he opened the door for a couple that was coming through. And I'm guessing they were in their 60s. And they were just like so sweet. They're like, "Oh my God, it's you. Hi. We love your movies. Oh my goodness." And he was just so gracious. And so
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this guy is like the nicest guy ever.
Was he nice to wait staff?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, completely. Like he was just so chill.
Good.
Yeah. And then so we hung out, through the night, went back to his place, and he had the most adorable dog and like the most Texas dog you could ever imagine because he's from Texas. He had like
What's
a
what
blue
exactly is it?
healer.
I would say, what is a Texas dog? I
It's
just
a
had to.
farming dog. It's a cattle dog.
I get
So he
you.
had a blue healer. So of course, me missing home, I was like, I like this guy. He's nice. He's a good man. And
Did the
so,
conversation flow whenever you were with him? You're very easy to talk to.
and that's what I was about to say.
Oh,
He was very nice and he was very kind, but everything was just really flat. There was not a lot of conversation. Everything was just really, and he could have been exhausted.
so I know who you're talking about, and I can see that.
Yeah.
Like I can understand exactly what you're saying
Yeah.
with that, and that's very, very, very sad to me.
No, it like now years past when I think about it, I'm like, he was probably freaking exhausted. He's probably so tired because he was doing press junkets, and he would actually
Yeah.
like call me from the press junkets and tell me about it. And so like there's some things like you look back years after, I'm like, I could have actually had a relationship with this person. Like they put in the work.
Mhm.
But for me, if it's not an easy conversation and it's not flowing naturally, then why?
Yeah.
So we didn't have that. And whether it be him or me, it just, we didn't match, and that was fine. So that was the end of that, and that was fine. And then like a year later, I was just getting ready to move back to Texas from LA, and I had come into town. I came into LA from San Francisco. I'd been on like a week-long business trip. I was so tired when I got in, and I am carrying my bags, my laptop, and my other bag on my arm, and I'm waiting for my luggage. And then this man looks at me, smiles, looks me up and down. He said, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm great. How are you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." He's like, "Pretty cute, you know that?" And he's just like cracking jokes. It was Norm Macdonald. And I know he passed not that long ago, and not a lot of people know who he is, but he was hilarious. Him, I would have dated. Him, I would have. I dropped like I'm so clumsy, and instead of making it awkward, like I had my bags over my shoulder, I reached down to grab my bag off the carousel. My bags fell over and hit me in the head because that's just me. That's what happens.
I don't even think I knew Norm Macdonald died. I think I know who that is.
Yeah, he was such a nice guy, and so I didn't really pursue it or try to go out with him because I literally was making plans to move. So it would have been I'm not about to start another long distance relationship when I'm moving because that's how I ended up
You
in.
are very focused. Yes, you're
Yeah.
not going to let anything get you off of what you have planned.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he was those were fun dating stories to make up for that horrific one.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
that you're a creepy one.
I know, I'm trying to think, did I have any other creepy? I don't think anything tops
I
that.
had one that was kind of creepy so I had been talking to this guy. I don't even remember what app I had met him on. And it was fairly new of talking to him. And I wasn't, now I used to be one of those girls that clearly, like, I would take every red flag anywhere that I would see it and attach it to myself and carry it around with me.
No.
And so you'll see all of these red flags. But so I was talking to this guy and he seemed really nice, a eager little beaver. And I was, he was always trying to get us to meet, and I was always very busy as well. And which, looking back, I don't even really know exactly what I was doing because
Laundry.
everything that you've done with your life, it's like, what was I doing? Because I was very busy, very busy. I'm always doing very important things.
I have laundry. I can't.
Ooh, I have some in the dryer. We can't forget that. Anyway, going back to, so this guy seemed a bit needy, and I'm not a needy person. Like, if I'm feeling like I need a little extra from someone, any my friends or my person or family, I will tell them I'm feeling a little bit needy today. Just gonna let you know. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, this guy was a bit needy. We hadn't even gone on a date yet, and he would. I don't like talking on the phone. You know this.
Yeah.
I don't like texting, but he would call me, and I would only answer the phone during certain hours. Right. Well, I had just gotten out of a date in Waco because I wanted to get married and have kids and do all of this stuff that I was supposed to do because that's what I was taught growing up in my small town. So I was looking for that perfect person, and coming home from a date, I'm driving my truck, and my truck starts sputtering back and forth, and something happens to it, and I know nothing. I'm not even going to pretend to know anything about anything mechanical.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. My phone rings. It's this guy. And I am always honest with people about everything. So I was telling him, I was like, well, I'm coming on my way back from a date and my truck is sputtering. Like, I'm not sure what to do. Like, and it's late. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. He's like, look, I will come and get you and you can take my car. He's like, I've got an extra car.
Nice.
And yeah, see, you're saying nice, right? That's not true.
Strings. Strings.
Yes, here, take a red flag. One for you. So he's like, he'll take this car. I'll take my truck. Like, we'll all work this out. Like, everything's gonna be fine. Like, I'd never met this dude.
Yeah.
We'd only been talking for a couple of weeks. And in what limited time that I had, so it was a very limited conversation. And this dude is like, "Here, take my truck, and or take
I
my
still have my
car."
red flag over here.
Yeah, yeah. Keep waving it. Keep waving it. And so I was like, "No, that's fine. Like, this is not realistic. Like, you're not coming to get me." He was in Austin, and I'm in
Oh,
Waco, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and he has a regular job
yeah.
that he works, that he has to get up early, and that's just insane anyway. Yes, nice, right? It's nice,
Yeah.
but that's not no.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, this is weird. But I still also wanted his help, truthfully. Like, but I didn't know how I wanted his help. I just didn't know what to do. I was scared. And so I'm
Yeah.
talking to him a little bit. And then I realized, like, oh, this dude is creeping me out. So I'm going to get off the phone with him
That
because,
quick?
well, because it's just not, it wasn't helpful.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay. So I call my brother in law. That gets fixed. Like, he helps me, blah, blah, blah. Captain Save-A-Ho. So anyway, the next day, this guy is calling me again as soon as he gets up. I just want to make sure that you're safe. And I had called him whenever I had gotten home, or not called him. I had texted him and let him know because he was, are you just want to make sure everything's okay. So I covered that base, woke up the next morning, more messages. Okay. So I'm like, look, I've got to get this instead of normal. What response I should have had was, I don't have time for this. I'm done with take your red flag and go give these to other people. But I instead, this sounds so stupid saying it out loud.
Say it.
Instead, I was like, okay, this guy's driving me nuts. I'm going to move this date up and get it done Sunday instead.
He wore you down.
I haven't really even thought of this story. So it's really funny. This is the first time that I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking, oh, what an idiot. Like, as I'm saying it at the same time. So that's awful. Anyway, I just made myself forget where I was at. Oh, so anyway, I was like, let's move it up to Sunday and we'll get this date over with. And so he's like, okay, yeah, I can do Sunday. I can do Sunday. Let me rearrange
Of course.
this family stuff for this trip that I had. Like, whatever. This
my
dude would have done anything. And I was like, oh
Wow.
gosh. So I go and I drive to meet him. I was like, look, I will meet you halfway because that's appropriate. And I don't want any favors, right? I don't want anything that's not fair.
Oh, but he does.
And so we meet at this restaurant and walk in, and I don't really even remember. Like, I remember walking up to him and he was just like, oh, he was very tall. He looked a bit different than his photos. He had used some from previous years.
Of course.
Which I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, body type is fluid, your age is fluid,
Yeah.
anything is fluid, your gender is fluid. I don't care.
Yeah.
But he was used to what most people put in society, and they do care. So
Yeah.
he had used younger looking photos and immediately and was like, oh, you look beautiful, just like your photos. Like, oh, yeah, I used a little, and he touched on that, really quick before we even sat down, like we're hugging.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And then we
'Cause
go.
he was insecure.
Yes. And so I was like, oh, this poor guy. And so instead of red flags, I was seeing all these insecurities, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's like, I understand insecurities because I have them immensely.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's what I was seeing and turning them into, oh, it's going to be okay. Like, trying to make this guy calm
You're
down.
the Captain Save-A-Ho.
Oh my gosh, I am.
You are. It's commendable.
Oh, I hope. You know what? Let this be a PSA for all of you gentlemen that I dated. You're welcome.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know that they would have that same sentiment. So anyway, we go and we sit down at the restaurant, and we got to have the biggest menus ever, right? And so we have these big menus, and I love food. I'm trying to look at what I want to see. This guy has no interest in the menu.
You are the menu.
Yes, I was the menu. I have my menu up like this, like a normal person reading it, trying to pick out what they want to eat, and he is doing this over this, trying to get this menu down any way
Oh
possible. And I'm thinking,
no.
okay, this is awkward. So I'm still looking at the menu. Then he grabs my hand and tries to hold my hands as I'm holding the menu,
Oh
which is
no.
crazy to think about because he
Yeah.
still was able to, he didn't use his face or anything, but it was like he can still see over the thing perfectly while he
Wow.
was holding my hand. So that was really awkward. Then he decided that that wasn't working for him. So he decided that, well, I'm just going to come and sit close to you. And so
No.
he moves over here, sits really close to me.
Oh
So yeah,
no.
this was wearing your skin type stuff at this point. And I'm
Yes.
like, okay, all right, so maybe this is a bad idea. So
Oh
I'm now
god.
seeing like, oh, there's a red flag, there's a red flag. And I'm saying, all right, maybe it
He's
wasn't just
just
online
shy.
jitters yet. No. So he's also trying to hold my hand while he's making sure to touch me because he's got to be as close to me as possible. And we
Oh.
can use the same menu. Everything's fine.
Oh.
Everything's fine. So I'm trying to be like, okay, this isn't weird. I feel like people are looking at us in the restaurant, which I don't care now. But at the
Yeah.
time, I was like, this is so awkward.
Yeah.
I told him that I didn't really drink. He was continually trying to get me to have his drink that he wanted to drink.
Of course.
Oh no, you'll really like it. Well, no, I don't really drink, so I'm probably not gonna like, oh, it's
Okay.
really good. It's fruity. You like fruity drinks? Well, I don't
No.
really drink, so I probably won't like it. Oh,
I
it's
like
so good.
bitter. I'm bitter.
Yeah. So, and then I know some other crazy stuff happened. I can't, do you even remember anything? I have to ask you to tag in. If because I've told him all of these stories, and so he probably knows them more than I do. But so anyway, this guy was not catching any cues whatsoever, and I was trying to be nice, but also direct. And so when he was talking about how great our date was going, I asked him, why do you think that this is going good?
Yeah.
You know,
Legit
do you
question.
think you okay? Because I think, what is he thinking in his head, right? And he was like, well, we've got good conversation going on. Like
One-sided.
we've got good energy flowing. And the energy was flowing, and I'm sure he could feel it because he was touching as many parts as me as he could.
He's like, I'm happy. I
The
don't care if you
energy,
are.
oh yes. He was just
Uh,
whoa. Want some more of this drink? So he was on cloud nine. Why do you think this is going good? Because I don't have those same feelings. And so after he told me that the conversation was flowing, I said, I don't feel that it is flowing. I feel like you are doing a lot of talking, but it's not of anything that I've showed interest in. And I've even asked you,
Yeah.
because he continually was talking about his possessions, which
Oh,
don't matter. Both of us are the same in that regard, right? Doesn't
yeah.
matter. I don't care what you have, what kind
Yeah.
of person you are. I can
Right.
feel with every energy that I have what kind of person you are right now. I don't
Yeah.
need to know anything else about you.
Yeah.
And telling me about all of these things, which again, traditional society tells you that this is how you get dates and people to like you. So he was pulling out all the stops, his nice vehicle, his nice pool, his 2-story house that he has.
Wait, the vehicle. So you weren't impressed when I showed you my car? I just need to
It
know.
was. I do like your
I'm
car.
just
I'm not
kidding.
really too
I'm just
impressed with
kidding.
material possessions, but I do want a nice car one day,
I'm just
and that's
kidding.
nice.
I had to show you, like, this is my one trophy I got for
I
myself.
understand that. That is we need to talk about that trophy one day because that is something that you should share with everybody.
Okay, okay,
But
go back.
he was wanting me to come back to his house,
Oh
and
no.
it needs a woman's touch, he said,
Oh,
and
move
it's
right
like,
in.
I don't understand what's happening here because I don't know how he got any of that from any of our conversations. So it was almost like the Twilight Zone, which made it even weirder. And
Oh.
I'm trying to let him down nicely because everyone automatically puts me as I'm sure they do you, in the category that I am a bitch. And so I used to spend a lot of time making sure people didn't know it's okay. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
So now I don't care.
Yeah.
But I would spend a lot of time for those fragile people that didn't accept that I am the person that I am and take me or leave me. I
Yeah.
don't have to fix you.
Yeah.
But this was clearly not that I don't have to fix you phase. So he was talking about how I could come back to his pool, and he's got this car that I could use because he was still on that, because again, it had just happened
Yeah.
and I was figuring that stuff out too. So I expressed to him as clearly as possible that this date did not go well. We were not going to go on another one. And he was genuinely confused, genuinely perplexed.
Oh yeah, because he thought you were moving in.
Something, yes.
He was like, "Look, the house is yours."
I said, and he worked in a field of a position of power. And so that he knew where a lot of bad things happen. He saw a lot of bad things that happen. And so it was very confusing on that too, because why would you be asking me to come to your place knowing things that
Yeah.
of what happens? He also expressed that he had a daughter, and that I said, would you want your daughter, who is, she was in her late teens, want someone to go back to the strange man's home? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It shouldn't make sense to you.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't put people in that situation like that. Like, that's weird. Because old me, possibly, if even with all those red flags, like if something would have been different, who knows? Because I've made those poor decisions before. And I don't think he was a bad person. I don't think anything was that was going to happen.
But he sounds clueless.
Yeah, he wanted to wear my skin for a little while, maybe, but I don't think that it would have happened like something long term. I would have been fine. I would have been kept alive. So, but and so he was confused. I explained to him in very direct detail, and then he was insistent on walking me out to my vehicle, and which I felt comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And so I allowed him to do that, and he walked me back, and then but I was on very high alert too, very high alert. Like, every girl knows about the keys in between your knuckles, right? Clenched tight, and I'll hit this alarm if I have to. Like, so
you hold it and pretend to hit him. You kick him in.
All of those things that, unfortunately, it sucks that we
have to think of those things. Yeah, I know.
So, that's a good one. So I just got a cue card to say a good story about someone, a good dating story.
Oh, tell me.
Yes, that I'm very happy to say. And I'm going to say he's my friend Sean, who I love. One of my very first dates that I had went on before I ventured on the lifestyle journey.
Yes.
So this was like I was just finding myself, like just opening up about things and figuring out things that I liked. And I had met him on Match.com, and we weren't a match like sexually. Well, sexually, actually, we had a good match there, but it just wasn't anything that either one of us felt. But anyway, I want to take a break right here, so